As we return back into our scene, this dreamlike sequence starting to fade, Vythorn, you find yourself lying on the ground, foggy, as you open your eyes and you see that god of fate standing over you. Her brown chestnut hair leaning over. Are you awake yet?
Yes, I'm awake. What?
Good, then
where
get
am I?
up. Finally. No, you're in a lovely little home that I have here. A forest, if you will. Yes, very strange concept to you. That in the void, you have so much volcano and ash and field, but forests, no. Welcome, Vythorn. And she kind of wanders a little bit further down this pathway, which has been muddied and clearly well traveled by many caravans, but the trees themselves feel still absent, silent. Like the swamp that you just came from, there is an quiet to it that is unnerving. No birds in place, no snakes that slither, not even a small little bug that might fly past. And she'll turn around to you. Oh, that's right. You were needing to look for something. What was it? It feels like ages since I woke you up here. Oh, the testaments. The testaments of Morir's cataclysm. Yeah, see, I didn't take you directly to them. I suppose you'll have to journey a little bit further if you just keep going down in that direction, and she'll point further down this pathway. Just keep walking for an hour, 2 hours or so, and if you get to the ruins of the Giant's Breath, you'll find it there, I promise. But this place is rather dangerous. And I don't care to actually babysit you through this.
Why?
And a smile creeps across her face. Oh, yes? Would you like to say something?
Why? If you want me to get this tome, why not just give it to me?
Oh, I can't just give it to you. And she just slouches her shoulders, her hands kind of collapsing. Like, that's not the point of it. Come on. It's about making choices, taking the action of it all. That's the thrill. You get it because you've earned it, not because somebody just handed it to you. I'm tired of hearing the phrase like, oh, fate decided this. Oh, because of that. No. You have that power. If you want to be the god of fate, you need to have your own hands in play. Hand it to you. And she'll scoff and turn around. I am not going to hand it to you, but I will help you out. And with a small wave of her hand, both right and left, the dirt to either side begins to mold and take shape, rising up, forming two individuals. Now, I will not stay with you, but these two will be my eyes and ears and mind and, well, heck, anything else that you possibly could need help with, because you seem rather helpless. And she'll turn around as they too begin finishing morphing. I give you Issei and Biff. They are familiar with a trial like your own. They've been through their own journey. They'll help you. And in that moment, she'll take a step back. Issei, Biff, you find yourself also in this forest, kind of pulled out of a time and space in which you're awakened. Here, moments before you had considered yourself taking your final breaths, but here you are in your prime even, as you look over your flesh, your fingers, your feet, all seem energized, awake. Go on, say hello, and she'll shove the two of you forward.
What manner of trickery is this, Phil?
Oh, Issei, you know it's one of those fun things that I like to do. And she'll kind of wave her fingers around. You know, the thing where I test you all and then some of you fail and then you hang out with me for the rest of eternity. It's all that kind of fun test. You know how it goes. You'd be perfect for it. And Biff, you're no stranger to this either. And she'll look down at Biff, who's rather short in stature.
Well, yes, Phil, I'm just not entirely sure that our definitions of fun are the same, if you get my meaning.
Oh, it's just your first time around and being a helper. Maybe the second time will be even better, or the third time, trust me. It's just the beginning. Give it a good shot. And if you're good, I don't know, I'll throw in some candy next time.
I don't like candy.
Just for the sake of argument, and if I refuse to dance on your puppet strings for free.
Oh, did you miss being dirt? Because I can step on you again.
That's a pretty good argument.
I turn and look. I was just gonna say, I turn and look at Vythorn, and I look him up and down, and I say,
He won't make it. Send us back now. Save us all the time.
Oh, you do have good eyes, Issei. And I have to agree, he looks rather disappointing, doesn't he? But trust me, he's made it this far for a reason. I almost let him drown earlier, but some reason I thought, why not? For entertainment's sake. Heck, you could play with him if you'd like. Before you go back to your deep slumber, why not have a little bit of fun and earn some candy along the way?
Yeah, you had me at candy, not gonna lie.
Honestly, more should be like you, Biff. You're going to get extra candy by the end of this.
You expect me to travel with these two?
I expect you to use them as your companions. You've been alone for so long, and not only do I expect you to travel with them, these two are experienced. You should listen to them. In fact, they know what I am looking for. Each of them has been tested in their own ways and know what I value. You two don't have to tell him, but they will be the ones who I ask if you are deserving at the end, and if I will return you back to the void, whether you have the tome or not.
Oh, I
Very
don't like the sound of
good.
that laugh. Oh.
Don't worry, Biff. It's already too late for you and I. Well, it's honestly, it's too late for him too, but at least you and I know it. He's about to find out. Fine, let's get on with it then.
Perfect. Oh, before I disappear for a little hot second, I forgot. This is a bit of a timed thing. You know, we've got bets going on up above to make sure that things keep moving. We're busy, God of Fates, you know? So she'll hand you an hourglass. It's actually quite small, but in Biff's hands, they're quite hefty, with a good amount of weight. And you look at those sands of time as they begin to fall through. It's about, give or take, 2 hours. You know, should be just enough time for you to get to the ruins. And if you look quickly, perhaps you'll make it.
Thanks. We Grung have a pretty terrible sense of time, so this is really gonna help. Do I turn it now? Like that?
And it begins! And she'll snap her fingers and she'll disappear. Grung, this wonderful Biff. All right, you have started the time. Those sands immediately begin pouring. And even if you were to turn it one side or the other, they will continue to pour in the same direction.
Oh, it's a pretty poorly made egg timer, if you ask me. But what am I to know?
What is an egg timer?
It's a great question. Have you heard of eggs?
Well, I mean, of course this man's fate is hanging in the balance here. Perhaps we should discuss it as we move.
Yes, at least one of you is
after
reasonable.
You, say. So Vythorn, tell us about yourself. What
Yes,
brings you?
please talk at length. We're in no rush whatsoever. Yes.
We can walk and talk. We've got legs and mouths.
Yes, considering I seem to be stuck with you. Very well. My name is Vythorn. I am right hand to the Grandmaster of the Void. Or Arbiter.
Sounds very important.
Yes, is that supposed to mean something?
Maybe not. Maybe I don't know where are you from? How did you come to be here?
I woke up and was here. How did you come to be here?
Something
I think
similar.
I think he means more globally, and I will say we came to be here Because we chose poorly.
I see.
You're a big fan of being cryptic, Issei. I've got to say. Issei, gotta say. That's fun.
Now I understand. When I failed the test, I was consigned to the hells, and that's why you're here, Biff.
And I just turn and start walking.
Oh no, are we in hell? Oh, we should probably walk to get out of here. So Biff begins sort of like plodding along after Issei with his frog-like feet slapping on the ground afterwards over the wet mud.
If I'm going to make use of the knowledge you two possess, I need to know a little bit about your skills. Biff, was it?
Hey!
What is it that you do?
Well, not a lot, I've got to say. I'm pretty good with this thing. It's a glaive. I don't know if you've heard of them or if they've got them where you come from. And Biff, from this sort of very large backpack that he's got on that seems crammed and bursting at the seams, full of random nonsense and just stuff, pulls out a huge sort of 6-foot glaive, more than twice his body length in size, and sort of whips it around and goes, "Sir, it's relatively heavy and quite spiky at one end. Very good at using it."
He kind of like puts his finger on the end of it as you pointed towards him and like pushes it away. I see. And you, Issei, please tell me you're of some use to me.
Issei looks like a very pale, gaunt drow. Looks like he either is massively sleep deprived or possibly dead. And he holds a hand up and he just has your coin purse.
A thief, is it?
Among many, many talents.
And I just toss it back to you and I say,
You needn't worry about that. Coin won't serve you here. Just if things go poorly, well, I'll do what I can to save your life.
He'll kind of just nod in kind of an appreciation of that. But now tell me, this so-called god of fate, this was Phil? Phil is the name?
Hey!
Yes.
It's not a very regal name. What is it exactly that they want from me?
Well, I can tell you what she wanted from me. I was posed with some moral quandaries, you might say, to assess my character, connections, willingness to sacrifice things. I did what I thought was best. Apparently, I was incorrect, at least in accordance with how she saw things. Next thing I knew, I was in the sleep of the ages, deep in the ground, and now I'm back here to assess you as I was once assessed. And Biff's footfalls echo endlessly slapping on the ground. He's so loud all the time.
Well, my footfalls may be endlessly loud, but one of us shouldn't be trusted when it comes to judgment, it would seem. Although I am also here, so that might be two of us.
And your feet falls are still incredibly heavy. In this muddy ground, it echoes, for whatever reason, even louder. If you were trying to stealth, it'd be impossible. Just like slapping pancakes onto another freaking flapjack on top of it. It's enormously annoying to the rest of your party.
Wait. Okay, wait, look.
and in front of you, I turn into a grung, dressed very similar to Biff. And I just say,
Yeah, now, what's this? Follow along, and I'm gonna walk very quietly. What? Very, very quietly. Prepare yourself.
and I attempt to stealth. Let's see.
Roll for it. Let's see how this goes.
10, but that for me, that's still going to be 22.
With a 22, it's actually very impressive. You might as well be almost swimming through this muddy water, smooth, fluid, and one with this environment.
See, it's not so difficult. Just glide.
Oh, all right, okay. Hang on. Let me give that a try. I am also going to attempt to stealth.
Please do. Please do. And Vythorn, as you picture this, 2 grungs in front of you, short in stature, just sliding in synchronization in front of you, back and forth like a small sleigh.
He just groans, and
One quietly, the other not so much, sloshing through for whatever reason. And you happen to even snag your poor foot on a rock, and it is sharp, causing you to cry out a little bit, making extra noise as you try to make your way through this forest.
Am I doing it right?
No, but
How are you doing this without bleeding? This is not how I was meant to travel. And he goes back to pancake footing it over the ground.
I turn and look at Vythorn, still a grung, so much smaller now, and I say,
and what of your skills? What are you capable of?
he will look at you for a moment, and his eyes will start to glow like a milky, voidy white as a multicolored lightning kind of crackles around his body. And in that, you see time itself begin to reverse in this place as Biff now no longer trips and hits their foot, and we've all kind of shifted back in the blink of an eye, 10 seconds or so.
Oh, that was trippy. Oh, I don't know if I like that. How'd you do that?
Well, I'm something of a scholar, you might say.
That's a book learning thing. Wow.
And as the 3 of you continue to move forward down this forest, the trees become denser and the fog lifts higher up, but it still covers the sky. You can't quite tell if it's day or night in this space at all, and there's a cool breeze. As you continue to wander through this mud, it feels cold to the touch, almost shivering at this point if you have no cloak on.
Ah. Oh.
Yes, seems we're getting further into the heart of the woods. Biff, let me see that egg timer as he holds a hand out.
I don't know if it's meant to.
Just hand it to me.
Oh, okay.
As he takes the egg timer. Can I manipulate this sand with my time magic at all? If I try to reverse the flow of the sand?
You can try, and we can see.
I would like to try.
How would you like to try to do that?
I think I would just use I don't think I have anything perfect, but maybe like a chronal shift or something to try to, as I kind of look at it and try to manipulate that sand with the lightning crackling around my body again, trying to pull that time back so the sand will move in reverse.
Sure. As you enact this chronal time, exerting your own force, you see those sands as they drop almost freeze for a second, trembling under the pressure of being pulled both ways at the same time. And in a moment later, they continue to fall.
Well,
Not effective, but you can influence it just a little.
that is not ideal. Thank you. As he's gonna toss it back to Biff, kind of haphazardly.
That's a poor choice on your behalf, but okay.
I'm sure that you'll make do. As he
Well, the time is going to pass, whether or not you keep proper track of it.
Yes, I'm coming to understand that, so I think we better get a move on. Do either of you know the way? Where we're going?
And
I'm
for
gonna
the
say
two of you,
no. Oh, sorry.
no, you're good. The two of you, if you wanted to note, you two have not been in this specific location before.
Hmm. I'm gonna say no, only because we've never been here before and we have no idea where we're going.
Well, we are not the ones being tested, though, are we?
Oh, good point, Issei. Where should we be going, Vythorn?
My lord.
Oh, yeah, my lord. Wait, is that mean? I can't tell if that's mean or not.
That makes it better, Biff.
Oh,
Vythorn just rolls his eyes. Can I discern? Is the path clear? Is it laid out, or is it obscured?
It is still clearly forward. There are carriage marks still along the ground. In fact, as you continue to walk forward, you do notice a small light ahead of you. And as you walk closer and closer still, while this fog is still in place, an actual carriage comes into view. Two horses still connected, but unmoving. The door wide open.
Well, seems we're in a stroke of luck. Maybe we don't have to walk the whole way.
To be clear, Vythorn's a human, correct?
He is a kind of a timeless. He doesn't really have a race. More of an Asamir than anything.
Issei changes to look like somebody who could be your brother. Just slightly well dressed. Just like a little
Better
under you. Under him, like a page or a squire. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that'll do nicely. I like this. This is flattering almost. If I didn't know any better.
Well, I'm here to be of service, so I'm sure this abandoned horse and carriage in the middle of a haunted wood during a test to find out the fate of your soul and ultimate existence is exactly as it seems. There you go. Please have at it. After you.
If
Oh,
you
but wait! I might be wrong, but is this not too convenient? It might be a trap.
You got there, Biff. You got there. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. 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 Keep your
perhaps-
glaive ready.
Perhaps it's a trap, but Phil did say I was to be making choices, correct?
Quite.
Then I choose to risk it.
Okay.
Have-
I can't really. I could try and argue. I'm not gonna. Go for it. See what happens.
Please, after you.
Vythorn will he'll approach the carriage cautiously, but still approach it nonetheless.
Sure. Give me a perception check. Any of you, if you're interested.
Sure. Ooh.
Oh, and then
9 is not great. Issei! With that nat 20!
It's like radar.
You've seen carriages before. You know how these are supposed to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's too bad I blew my 20 on this instead of when I hit like a freight train. But that's all right. It could be pivotal.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yes.
Yeah.
So Vythorn with the lowest of a 9, you quite absentmindedly just walk forward. But Issei Biff, though the two of you are a step behind him, you do notice or hear a small sound from within, like a shuffling and a whimper. The horse is still unmoving, as if very steady. It seems like they're under a command of some sort.
I just put one hand on Biff's shoulder to stop him. And I just hold a finger up to my lips. I don't say anything. I let Vythorn keep going.
And he will continue to walk, really not paying any attention to you. He's already on his path. He's not looking for feedback, so.
oh, Biff is so torn.
Okay. You continue to move forward, finding yourself now at the entrance of this carriage. And you look in, and you initially see nothing in the seats, no one at least. But you do see a number of bags and books piled in. Very large, thick tomes of their own making.
Perhaps this is the tome Phil was speaking of. He's going to just start rifling through the books.
As you rifle through the books, give me one more perception check.
All right.
Did you see anyone? Sorry. Did you see anyone, my lord?
No, it appears like it's empty. As he kind of just shouts out from when he's just face deep in a book.
Such good fortune seems to have befallen you in this haunted wood.
As you find yourself in this book, it is a book of magic, as it turns out. Rudimentary spells, the basic fundamentals, all of those details. But it entrances you enough as, from above, a small creature lands on your back and quickly tries to dash a small dagger into your neck. You will take 3 points of piercing damage. Get out! Get out! Get out! As this creature now clings onto your back, you can feel their claws digging into your shoulders, dagger still at your neck as you fall backwards out of this carriage.
What the? Why didn't you say anything?
I did say it was a trap.
And it's not our test.
What does this creature do after it stabs me in the neck?
And what does it look like? Sorry.
Yeah.
In a quick moment, as it scrambles back, you notice that this is a tabaxi. Thin, frail in nature, blonde, fluffy hair, and he is shivering, shaking with nerves, dagger still in hand, Vythorn's blood dripping from it. Get back! Get back!
I immediately turn into a tabaxi that looks just like him. And I'm like, Wes, how did you get out here? What is it? How can you?
Roll performance for me.
So many windows. I apologize.
A 23. This terrifies our little tabaxi, and he will drop his dagger, backing in to where he is now sitting at the back of this carriage, all the way hidden in. How did you do that? How did you do that?
I turn and I look at Vythorn with these big, sad tabaxi eyes, and I say, "Oh no! What are you going to do? He's so afraid."
Yes, he's very afraid and very stupid as he looks at him. And he's going to raise a hand, and that magic energy is going to start crackling around his fingers for a moment before he holds his hand, starts to lower it. You, do you have a name?
Why? Why would I give you my name if you're just going to kill me?
If you give me your name, I promise I won't kill you.
You promise?
Sorry.
Yes.
Is that a joke?
No. We've known him for about 5 minutes, and if there's anything we know, he doesn't joke.
I'm terribly confused by all of this. I hate it here. This forest is so dark and damp, and I'm so cold.
It is really cold here. And you see him burrow further back, almost underneath one of the carriage chairs.
Fine. If you won't tell me your name, then I will come and extract it from you.
No, it's Kuro. My name is Kuro. And if you were to peek in, you'd notice his ears are now flat, and he is flush with the ground of the carriage.
Kuro, sorry. What can you tell me about this place?
Well, I was on my way to the academy with my mom, and we heard a voice, a small voice, and she went out to look because she's very brave. And then I heard her scream, and she hasn't been back.
Oh no. Oh, that's awful. Oh, which direction did she go in?
She told me to stay in the carriage, but I heard her that way, and it is over to the right of the carriage. And the pathway you are intending to take goes to the left.
I immediately turn into a tabaxi that would probably be Kuro's mother. And I'm like, ooh, this is a predicament. We're so short on time, but if this innocent tabaxi is lost in the woods, we have to do something, right?
Issei, that is... Wow, okay. I'm genuinely at a loss for words. That doesn't happen often. Wowzers. Might I suggest we try and help the young cat? Tabaxi, I'm terrible at people.
It's fine. I've been called a cat before. At least they're smart.
Yes.
Are you not smart? You're talking, you seem smart. You've got all these books.
And you're very brave. You attacked this brigand when he opened up your carriage.
I thought he was coming for me.
Wait. Actually, sorry about that. Vythorn. You see, I come near you and I lick the wound on your neck, and it feels like a rough cat's tongue, but I heal all 3 hit points when I do it. Just and it's gone.
He just like winces. If you ever do that again, I will kill you.
Unlikely, but okay.
Yeah, at this point, I wouldn't blame you. Wow.
Kind of shrugs it off, and you, Tabaxi, not you, as he points to Kuro.
Kuro, he has a name. His name is Kuro.
I'm not coming out of the carriage.
Fine.
Probably best.
Choices. As Vythorn kind of he knows he's being tested in some way here. Fine.
Hey,
If
it's any help, I think, and I might be wrong, but the good thing to do here would be to help the helpless small creature currently trapped in his carriage away from his mother. Maybe. That would be the good thing to do. The maybe not so good thing to do would be just to continue on like nothing had been seen or witnessed here. I'm just saying.
Suppose
Those are your maybe choices that you were talking about.
those would be the 2 obvious choices. Issei, do you have anything to add to this?
He said his mother was very brave. Perhaps she'll be back any moment now, and this will all be for naught, and you can carry on with your journey.
Hey, he also said she was screaming, but c'est la vie, I guess.
Is that some sort of dwarvish tongue you're speaking?
No, it's actually tabaxi.
Oh. C'est la vie. Yes.
Je ne sais quoi.
Just a quick question, Kuro. Roughly how long has mother been gone?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really have any way to judge time out here, but it feels like forever.
Have you gotten tired? Has your
Huh?
stomach started grumbling since she's been gone?
I am really hungry, actually. It's been talking to me for a very long time.
Oh, yes. And I turn and look at Vythorn, and still as the tabaxi woman, she's probably dead. Not worth the trouble, I think.
Oh, I've got something for that. Hang on. Biff again reaches into the pack and like roots around and rumbles and pulls out like something that looks like it should be dead. And like a sort of small round roll, hard bread, and sort of passes it through and into the carriage. Like, there you go. That should sustain you for a little bit at the very least.
And you see those fluffy paws kind of just reach out and then snatch it and pull it back. Thank you. I don't know when she's coming back. I can't even move the horses. She commanded them to stay, and I can't override it.
I suppose if I'm going to be a god of fate, I should get used to intervening.
Or not intervening.
Shushy say. He's doing a good thing.
Perhaps,
No,
but
yes,
him do
of course.
it.
I think I would like to get a little hands-on experience. So he's going to, which way, Kuro?
Oh, they went to the right of the carriage. It was over there, and she kind of walked behind some trees, and then I couldn't see her anymore because she told me to get back inside.
Well, I'll see what I can find. He's going to start heading that way and instantly casting mage armor.
On Kuro or yourself?
On myself, not on Kuro.
Of course. Yes. So you are leaving Kuro in the carriage.
Yes, I'm leaving him in the carriage and going to look behind the trees where he's indicated that his mother went.
Sure. Is anyone else going with him?
Yeah.
I will
Absolutely.
stay behind and protect Kuro. I've got a glaive.
Kuro will actually sneak out a little bit and sit on the stairs of the carriage next to you now, Biff. Feeling quite comfortable since you had offered food. I really appreciate it. I love eating, and I haven't eaten in a while.
No problem. I'll have a rummage around in a bit and see what else I can find. After pulling out that thing from before, though, I'm not hopeful. But you stick with me, kid. You'll be fine.
Quite comfortable, Kuro will nibble along on the stale bread that you had tossed his way originally. For our two wandering further down along the right of the carriage, go ahead and give me some perception checks, unless you are looking for something in particular.
Well, I would specifically be looking for footprints or any side of indication where someone would have walked through the brush.
Sure. You know, I'm going to have you roll perhaps survival, as you
Okay.
are kind of using those Eagle Scout techniques to get yourself through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually doing nothing to assist him at all. I've switched back to looking like his squire, and I'm just walking behind him. I just can see how this plays out. You know?
As his squire, you notice, man, he really doesn't seem to know what he's doing. He wanders around, picking up at dead leaves and branches, but with a 4, he's pretty oblivious and cannot seem to notice anything of note that looks different from the rest of the surroundings.
I get the distinct impression, my lord, you are not so much a man of the forest, tracking, hunting, and such.
I suppose you could say that. I'm more of a the book type. I've read about many forests, though, so I'm sure I can figure it out.
Yes, I'm absolutely certain that a written account is equal to or greater than personal experience. No, please, lead on.
As you continue moving forward along the right side, I assume, correct?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me one more survival check.
Could I perform the help action here? Like, if I see he's looking the wrong, I just sort of nudge him to look like at a certain bush.
Hey, look at this thing. Yes. Being the ever so helpful guide, you can absolutely perform with the help action, which does not do much, giving a 13, but it is enough that you notice that where there was originally just the one set of footprints, now there are multiple. It's hard to piece out how many, as clearly there's a bit of a scramble, claw marks all around, but it is numerous. And they continue back in that direction where you see eventually 2 lines being dragged back there as well.
Before we move too far off the path, before I lose visual contact with Biff, I'm going to hit him with message. Or I transmit the message. I just say,
Looks like a commotion and some tracks. We're going into the forest. If we're not back in, call it 2 minutes. Maybe come running.
and you can respond with message, by the way.
No. You hear in the distance just a oh.
Accompanied by that is a shriek from Kuro, as that is also equally terrifying to hear you scream.
Followed by, Oh, I get it! Echoes through the forest.
This Asmodeus is going to appear anytime I'm literally in hell. That's what's happening. This is an eternity of torment. Fine, yes. Lead on, Vythorn.
Sorry, lead on, my lord.
Yes, well, I think we're both in agreement that this is certainly hell, as he just kind of trudges forward. But time to decide a fate, I think, as he keeps following the tracks.
As we take a scene back real quick to our carriage, Kuro sits there, now back inside, terrified from your initial scream, his own fur up on end, very high, eyes wide open, claws exposed. What was that?
I'm very sorry. I heard a voice in my head. I should explain that one a little bit further.
Yeah!
I heard Issei's voice in my head. You know, big tabaxi, not tabaxi, other tabaxi, you tabaxi, mother tabaxi looking fella. Voice head. It's nothing to worry about. Do not. Everything's under control, kind of.
You have a tabaxi head?
It would be easier for me to just say yes.
He looks at you. It's not my mom's head, is it?
No, it's my head, but it's also his head. I've gotten myself confused now.
In a moment of bafflement, it is enough that you seem confident that Kuro relaxes. I heard a lot of screams. Do you think your friends are going to be okay on their own?
I'm hoping so. If I don't hear back from them in 2 minutes, I'm gonna go running. So what I'm gonna do is just try and really sort of secure the carriage for you, so that should I have to go, you'll be safe in here. And Biff begins to sort of, pull the doors closed, barricade stuff, like books up in front of the door. It's very useless. It's so stupid. It would never protect anything, but he's doing all of the motions to sort of try and put Kuro at ease.
No,
knowing
absolutely.
full well.
In a small prison of his own, Kuro is now inside the carriage, as you have taken the books and backpacks that he had inside and set them all around in front of the door on top of the wheels, as if it will provide some sort of protection.
On top of the wheels.
Puts a dead tree branch on top to camouflage it.
Pulls that dead thing out from before and just lies it around somewhere like on the back, like,
Mm-hmm. You managed to pull a dead tree in front of the horses that are not moving anywhere, but just in case.
That's it, yep. That'll do. Good. Well done, Biff. Good job, Biff. Well done, Biff.
And you count those sands of time that begin to pour through until you get to your 2-minute mark.
Okay, and he gets the glaive out and just sort of gets ready just in case.
You are prepared.
I am prepared. They're not coming. They're not coming. They're not coming! All right, Kuro, you stay here. I'll be back. And Biff slaps heavily and fast off in the direction that he saw Issei and Vythorn heading into.
Perfect. Yes. As you continue with that internal dialogue, counting your seconds down as you run pancake form into the woods after them, are 2 leads in here. You follow these footsteps forward until you find yourself at a mouth of a cave that is cold and dank, but very well lit on the inside. You find yourself here in this space, and it is a clear encampment that has been set up. Multiple tents hide out in here, and though you are quiet up near the front, you have to be very cautious, as you can hear many sounds within. Rumbling further, a fire takes place, and there are clearly quite a few individuals within here. You can't quite see them yet at the very mouth of it, though.
I turn and look at Vythorn and I say, well, It looks like fate got this woman into this mess, but fate theoretically put you in her path to alter it. Is it your intent to do something now?
Well, we've come all this way, so I might as well. Made a choice.
Then, if I may, allow me. And I turn back into a drow and I stealth ahead to look at what's going on in here.
As he
Clever.
begins to stealth ahead, Vythorn just kind of cackles to himself a little bit and casts invisibility on himself.
All right, the 19 is incredibly effective as a stealth, and invisibility is also very effective as a stealth, as it turns out. Both are very good at hiding as the two of you in your own form creep forward. I assume, Vythorn, since you did this invisibility after Issei moved forward, that you have not informed your companion that you are following them?
No, he just turns around to stealth, and I just cheekily cast invisibility and follow right behind.
Perfect. As you venture further in, moving slowly and quietly, you notice that this encampment is made up of gnolls, and there are many of them here as they move about. And it's not just a hunting party, but this is clearly an encampment where they have settled. There are families here living in the tents, moving about, helping each other out, laying out different forms, sharpening knives, preparing food. And on the very far side, you see a wooden enclosure and a tabaxi woman in there. As if noted and called out by the heavens themselves, these caves have a number of entrances and exits, including from above, and a light shines down on her, illuminating her exact location in the back far side of this cave. At this point, Biff, you do manage to find yourself at the mouth of the cave, but your flat feet might, as a hint, give you away should you choose to move forward in the same fashion as before.
So Biff is running to catch up, and then as he sees the mouth of the cave and puts two and two together that maybe danger is ahead, I should try that stealth thing that Issei showed us before without the injury part. Turns out that we can just turn back time and nothing will ever happen, so what could possibly go wrong? Let's try that then, eh? So, stealthily, we'll attempt to move forward.
Impressively so. Yeah, that's 21. You have learned from before, and now at this point, in your own way, you're dragging your feet as to not pick them up and make any flapping sounds. It is slower, but you do make your way down, and you can at least find one of your companions.
Proud of you.
Yeah, that means a lot.
As we're making our way through here, I've clocked the tabaxi woman, but that's Vythorn's test, not mine. Is there a gnoll who is clearly in charge?
There is one in particular, much larger in place, and would be in your way if you tried to go along the right side of the cavern. He stands there, sharpening his own knives. He stands almost 7 feet in height at this point, though perhaps not as tall as most gnolls at this end. Clearly broad shoulders, a snarl, scars on his face. He is experienced, at least in bleeding.
As I'm creeping over, I turn into him, not a gnoll like him. I turn into him, and I just get nearby, but I don't do anything. Because again, this is Vythorn's test, so I'm just like nearby in the shadows, waiting to jump this dude.
Oh my god, you are so confusing.
Yeah.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Yes, you find yourself duplicated.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Even my clothes change to look like him. Like I'm him.
Mhm.
but I don't do anything. I don't intentionally break cover or anything. I'm just ready.
Sure.
Yeah.
So as you morph into a very the exact same Knoll leader in this space, you just find yourself now leaning against a rock opposite of our main lead. Gives you a good perception over his shoulder to learn and see his movements a little bit more, how he carries himself. His right shoulder shags a little bit on one side. It's more furry and fluffy, but it hangs lower as well. His left foot is missing a toe. Small details like that are now easy for you to pick up.
Excellent. And it is my intent to remain hidden until this goes where it's going.
As I see him change into the Knoll leader, being invisible, have I ascertained the location of the mother as well?
It is quite clear.
It's pretty
I mean,
obvious.
the light does just
Okay.
right there. Yes.
Well, then
Heavens open up and the angels sing. Birds that existed nowhere else in this forest until under this cave flutter through, just to highlight it a little bit more.
Vythorn feeling extremely confident and extremely invisible as he changes into the
Not just
Knoll.
invisible, extremely
Invisible. He changes into the Knoll leader. He's just going to kind of roll his eyes about that, but then he's just going to walk through the middle of camp straight to the cage.
All right.
Oh.
In your bold move, are you just describe your walk to me?
I mean, Vythorn is barefoot because his Italian leather boots were lost in the swamp. So he is, I don't think treading heavily, but also not particularly stealthy. I think it's just a normal gait for him, which is in a way kind of measured. Is that a perception check?
It is a perception check.
If I see them noticing me, I would use Chronal Shift to turn back time, so they have to re-roll that perception check.
Are you paying attention to them, or are you
I
keeping your
don't know.
eyes on the Tabaxi woman?
Depends.
It does. Go ahead
me
and
find
give me
out.
a perception check.
Okay.
Well, the leader is quite oblivious with rolling a nat 1.
Oh.
But with a 15, you might notice that, yes, one in particular, well, doesn't see anything. You see that snout move side to side a little bit, as if a scent that is different than what has been there before. Something that smells like it's bathed recently is walking through. And you can see and recognize that look of confusion on its face.
Then I will use my Chronal Shift to turn back time just momentarily to retrace my steps a little bit more out of his way, so he's got to re-roll his perception check.
All right. And so he shall.
Okay.
With that 17, finding himself almost in a weird deja vu moment, it triggers an alert within him. He becomes very aware, ears perked up, the hair stands up, his shoulders hunched over. He nudges his other companion. Something is here. And they move closer together, now trying to actively sniff you out. His companion drops to all fours, trying now, not only looking with his eyes above, but also keeping an eye out now for steps on the ground. Should you move pebbles or rocks or dust, you are being hunted within this space. Before we move forward, if Issei, you see this. 2 alert gnolls now on the prowl. If you would like to do anything.
If this guy I'm on moves, I'm taking him apart.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mhm.
Upon seeing their attention shift and focus to a point in the room that Biff doesn't understand because Biff didn't see Vythorn turn invisible and nothing has been explained to him. Biff is just going to be like, oh, we've gotten lucky. They're not looking at us. Just in case they do turn this way, though, I've got a thing I can do. You ready? All right. And he just sort of strains real hard, and the shadow that is cast from him from the sort of small lights in the cave stretches out behind him and suddenly disconnects from where his feet are. The shadow crawls up the wall and becomes this 3D void in space as Biff's Echo Knight manifests next to him. And he just sort of looks at the Echo Knight and, all right, now there's two of us. Somehow I feel like I've made this worse. Okay, right, never mind. More targets, distractions, things can happen. Fabulous. And he is going to keep low and down and not move with this Echo Knight at his side and just survey the scene because he has no idea what's going on.
Excellent choice. I won't lie, I was a little confused at what you were doing at first, and from your facial expressions, I'm like, is Biff gonna fart? Like as a distraction. I like where you went though. It's a much smarter choice. It's a much smarter choice.
He can fart as a free action if that makes anything better.
Absolutely. If you ever want to, you can keep that in your pocket at this moment.
Or not, as it would turn out.
Or not. Itch. Release it from here if you'd like.
That's gonna itch when it dries.
Oh no! Oh god!
It's a perfect setup. Perfect setup. Issei, you are holding. We now have our Echo Biff in place as well in here. Our two original ones now very alert. Summon a few more within their space. One goes specifically over to the Tabaxi woman. You said you traveled alone, right? And she refuses to answer. Another gnoll on the far side of camp begins to gather the pups. Also alert that something is amiss and pulling them back further inside one of the tents. What would you all like to do?
It's Vythorn's test.
Do I notice that they're onto me?
You do.
Okay.
The leader is the only one who is unaware.
Have I seen Biff?
You didn't seem to react when Biff caught up to you all, and you didn't inform Biff of what you were doing. So I would say at this point, you did not take the time to check if Biff was by your side. You would not know that they are there.
I think that I would like to, as I see them looking around and starting to look for footprints and things like that on the ground and starting to hunt, I think I would like to use my minor illusion to create some footprints for them that lead away from me, kind of maybe back towards the entrance a little bit, just split off to the left from wherever I'm at.
Okay,
kind of loop back around.
Perfect. So you do go ahead and cast minor illusion for us. As you cast that, you create footsteps. Would you like to describe what those footsteps look like?
They look like Biff's feet. Because those are the last feet he can remember seeing.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Those pancake flappers suddenly appear, and they make almost what, even though you see it, you almost feel like you can hear it from the visual itself as they make a sound and a little poof of dust comes up. And one of the gnolls in particular notices a side eye and begins to stalk before immediately pouncing upon it, moving towards, trying to grab at it and noticing nothing is there. There's a ghost here! And a number of other gnolls then move over and try to pile on the leader now at this point. curious as to what has infiltrated the camp, also moves closer to the fire.
I would like the moment he moves, I'm on him. So like if he's like, what? I'm like, gag. So I mean, if he's, yeah.
Let's go ahead and start by rolling initiative then.
Okay.
As we begin our attack. I will, no matter where you roll on this though, Issei, you will be at the start with that initial move, and then we will get into our full rounds. We hop into this space and we are deep within the caverns with lights illuminating this scramble as 3 or 4 gnolls tackle what they think is a ghost within this space, but something is clearly amiss. The entire camp is on alert and looking for the intruders. We have started our initiative as that gnoll leader begins to move forward. Issei, you make your first move, kicking us off. What is it that you would like to do?
I'm going to come up behind this dude, summon my Shadow Blade at level 3. And as I'm attacking him, because I very much want my sneak attack, I just say,
Yanogu won't smile upon your treachery. You won't lead our people astray any longer.
and then I'm gonna roll this dude up.
Woo!
All right. So I have I'm just gonna roll the D20 with the, well, I guess I could do it like this. Just for boom. Blah! Oh, it's 17. Is that
17 does hit. As you
Great.
find that purchase, you make that claim, challenging this, giving us a nice alpha v alpha moment.
If you don't mind, I would like to roll my other attack and then just give you like a freight train of damage.
Yeah, let's go for that.
All right, let's see. Because I do get to attack twice.
26 will also hit, as it turns out.
Perfect. All right, so let me just I've assembled my oh, okay, hang on. It's just so just for the people playing the home game, that is going to be green flame blade, sneak attack, smite, shadow blade, then just shadow blade and smite. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it
Then
simple.
this and then that.
Yeah. All right.
Woo!
So
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
put
a lot of
85
dice.
points on him.
In that moment,
Wow.
Yeah.
you. Okay, hold on here. Let me adjust some things.
Mhm.
In that moment, he collapses on the ground. You champion over his body, screaming as he lays limp at your feet in that moment. Clearly, you have surprised him. The rest of the Knoll camp is now alert. 2 more pop into the space, growling, now angry. This well-beloved leader, seeing this intruder. One approaches you in particular. Who are you?
Remember, I still look like that guy. Yeah. I look down and I just say,
Brothers and sisters, you've been deceived by a shapeshifter.
and I just kick his body over with disgust.
And there shatters throughout all their voices. A shapeshifter! A shapeshifter! Just echoing throughout the caves in their shock that they have been betrayed, now angry at this creature that lies at their feet. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. Actually, no, you're doing this in the form of, so performance still.
All right. It's the same. So let's see. Let us find out. Here we go.
11.
Let me see if there's any. Hang on. Let me see if there's anything I got that can zhuzh that a little.
Yeah. Zhuzh it up.
Not so much. My primary export is violence. So, and
It's good to specialize.
well, you know, the original version that I was bringing today had the lucky feat, and I gave it up for the ASI. So nope, we're just gonna stand with it. That's all right. I'm fully prepared to kill every Knoll in this cave. So yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. Okay.
With the 11, you look just like him. You sound like him. You even smell like him, but the rhythm of your voice feels off. It's not that same howl that they're used to. And this particular leader would always end every charge with a howl, one that you are notably missing. That 11 leaves many of them skeptical as they begin to move closer now. This does get a number of them now also much closer to Artabaxi and whoever might be close to them. Let us start our initiative then at the very top. Our blunt knoll is down on the ground lying here, but our next one. You don't seem that familiar to us. And it will take an initial bite at you, just kind of snapping its jaws to see how you will initially react. Does a 15 hit?
It does not.
Does not.
I would say I just stand there. I don't move at all and just let his jaws like clamp on me and just like can't get through the armor.
In a bit of a shock, it kind of like feels weird having those jaws on the metal, and it kind of snarls back at you. You're not leader material, as it growls back at you, kind of charging the others. Now, as we enter into the formal initiative, you are second. Issei, what would you like to do in this Knoll leader form?
I still look like him, but I activate my blade song so I don't move like him at all. Like I'm this like giant knoll that just starts swirling. And and here at this one that challenged me, I just say,
Your weakness is your undoing. Your bloodline cannot be allowed to dilute our pack.
and I come at him.
Woo! Go for it.
Let's see. So I guess technically I don't have the right circumstances to sneak attack him. So, all right. So, okay. So, well, going to attack twice. So let's just do this real quick.
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
Attack number 1.
24 hits.
All right.
Damn.
Let me do attack number 2.
16 will hit this one.
Excellent. I'm actually not going to smite this old boy. I'm just gonna. Yeah, well, who are we joking about? So I'm gonna green flame blade him and just give him 2 level 1 smites. So we're just gonna pepper him a little bit here. So that's going to be. Sorry for my voluminous dice pools here. A green flame blade, 2 smites, put 55 on him.
55. Go ahead and describe as this poor, weak, and underling dares to approach you, and you shut him down completely right from the beginning.
It's just right as he comes at me, again with the shadow blade, as I slash through him. Actually, are we in dim light?
It is, yes.
You know what? I do still sneak attack him then, because I have advantage with the shadow blade and dim light. So,
Fair enough.
but as he comes near me, it's just like, and it's like it doesn't cut him. There's no blood. It's just like slices through his soul. And I turn him around as he's about to fall, and I say,
You have turned away from Yenogu. You have backed the traitor. You die a coward's death.
and just drop him on the ground.
As he collapses, more and more Knoll gather around this camp, awakening, now smelling the fresh blood, all growling, "We are who we are!" Yelling out, now banded together, seeing you as the clear opponent, taking out 2 of their kind as they felt strong loyalty to one another. Issei, is there anything else for your turn?
To be clear, I cannot see Vythorn currently, right? Still invisible?
Correct.
Can I see Biff?
Biff, you were hiding, correct? Behind some rocks for a hot minute?
Yeah, no, Biff, right. Okay.
Yeah, we'd sort of stealthed up together, so I'd stealthed up to him
Dungeon Master, if you would allow me something for flavor, technically it's another. I just want to message the tabaxi. But message is technically an action, so if you say I can't, that is okay. It is up to you.
I think for now, let's hold off as your focus is on sending the message to these gnolls that have now gathered in front of you, a bit like your own concert.
Right. I'm gonna null surf on these guys here in a second. Okay.
Excellent plan.
Then that is it for me.
Vythorn, we zoom into you, invisible, unknown, but the crowd is getting thick, and it is difficult for you to be able to move through without getting touched if you continue to stay in this place much longer. What is it that you would like to do?
I think that seeing kind of how this is working out, that there's already this commotion going on, and knowing that it's going to be really difficult to get these people out without triggering their defenses anyways, I'm just going to drop my invisibility, and I'm going to quicken spell cast slow on 6 of these gnolls. Let me find slow.
Sure.
So they're going to have to make a DC 15 wisdom save.
Okay. Let me see how smart these suckers are. I'm assuming which 6 would you like?
So whatever the 6 are closest to me, probably.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right, and you said wisdom
Wisdom
saving throw.
save of 15.
Okay, perfect. Let us see what they do. Our first one coming in with a 3, but not ready at all, failing immediately, will be slowed. Our second one, the one closest to the tabaxi cage as well, rolling in for that wisdom save. Oh, a 19. Not at all. They are alert, holding on to this cage, now very aware that their prey may be moved and wanting to stand guard. They will not be slowed in this space. Our third one coming in with a 6 will be slowed. This is the one closest to the cage, the second closest to the cage. Now we go to our fourth. That will come in with a 15, just not making it in time because it needed a, well, no, it's a 15 it makes. Oh,
It makes it,
I
yeah.
thought it was a 16. I mean, of course I'm not cheering for them. Apologies.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, that's about. I'm like, hey, wait a
Hold
second.
on a second.
Oh,
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Boo.
damn it.
Another
Boo.
one unfortunately makes it through.
These dice suck.
Why?
Get new dice.
How
Be
does
a
that
real
happen?
shame.
Yeah,
Something were to happen to you.
real shame. It's just, it's real sad at this moment. And then one more doing this wisdom saving throw. We'll roll a 4 and will be
Alright.
slowed as well.
So 3 of
Very
them.
effective.
3 of them are
50-50.
slowed.
That's not bad.
Those are pretty good
terrible.
odds, honestly.
That's a coin flip of a result. Well done.
So with slow, they have a -2 to their AC and dexterity save throws, and they can't use reactions. And on their turn, they can only do bonus or an action, not both.
Okay. One is slowed. This one is the one that's not slowed. Okay, excellent.
I put icons on the 3.
Thank you.
And then
Alright.
so that was quicken spell. So I did that as a bonus action. So then my action will be to cast. Ooh, this is a. I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver on whichever one that is closest to me.
And you
So
are headed towards the cage, correct?
I am moving towards the cage. This is kind of as I'm moving.
Okay.
So I.
As you are almost there, you are at the one that is second closest to the cage.
Okay. So Mind Sliver, they have to make a DC 15 intelligence save.
Okay. You know what? Gnolls are known for their intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That's
I'm pretty sure.
It's a hurtful stereotype.
With a -2, that one comes into play, and it will take 7 points of psychic damage.
Yep.
It does not like that.
So that's bonus action, and then I will use my movement to get to as close to the cage as I can.
Okay. Now you can cast spells while in. No, you dropped your
I
invisibility.
dropped my invisibility too because
Okay.
slow is a concentration spell.
Yes, excellent. So now that you are seen and you are also in the midst of this fight, as we hop into it. Vythorn, your turn is now done. Biff, you see the scene
So
as it
Biff-
unravels, orchestrating, creating chaos. What would you like to do?
So Biff has just watched Issei burst a guy.
Yes.
Correction, 2 guys.
Yes.
2 guys, and is feeling wonderfully insecure presently.
This is great, no pressure.
Oh, are we doing this now? Okay, and rushes forward to the first knoll he sees, 2 hands on the glaive, and begins stabbing. While, as a bonus action, oh no, because the knight moves under his. Knight moves automatically. The Echo Knight is going to move over towards the cage, where the tabaxi is. But Biff is going to begin the first of his 3 attacks. Stabbing at the very first with his glaive. So let's come along, Biff. Ugh. You can do it, my boy. You can do it. I believe in you. Roll.
25 will hit easily. You are well skilled with this glaive going in. Wonderful.
Just coming up under the rib cage. Just
equally screaming alongside you.
The battle cry of the well-known battle cry of the grung.
Strikes fear in the hearts of enemies everywhere. Yes.
I'm definitely afraid.
14 points of damage with that first hit as you go into it. That is very well done.
Excellent. And now that we know how to do it, it would be rude not to do it again. So
that's just science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
As it screws
like,
up.
I got stabbed. Oh, you got stabbed, and then goes again.
Cave frogs.
No mercy. And off he goes.
22 hits as well. A thing of beauty. You go in for that second stab with the glaive.
Oh, I'm having a nice time.
As you have the time of your life dancing around this poor knoll, you can hear it heaving as blood begins to fill its lungs, but it stands by just a few health points.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Tell me, how do you like poison? And Biff spits at him. Biff is a poisonous tree frog.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
And as such, please, I cannot remember where it is on the character sheet. Could he make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, please?
Absolutely. We will attempt with our Constitution saving throw. If we will get a 12. It is not a 12, it is an 8.
I will roll 2d4 of damage over here. That is a 4 and a 2. So could you please take an additional 6 points of poison damage as I spit into his eyes?
As you secrete that, please describe as that poison eats away. How does this knoll offer their final breath?
Biff removes the glaive from the ribs, pulls it back triumphantly, spits in their eyes, and then turns to the next knoll, going, "I've got a glaive!"
And the other gnolls in terrifying fear, it's got a glaive! In fact, it is so terrifying. This one will move further back moving away, kind of isolating from the group, seeing your terrible, imposing position. It stands to be quite effective. Anything else for your turn?
I think. Oh, it would be rude not to. I'm going to action surge, and then from where the Echo Knight is, I am going to manifest Echo attack. So from where the Echo is, it begins to gain a bit more Biff likeness to it. It stops becoming a simple void and begins to grow arms and pancake feet, and the glaive sees a sharpness, a shine towards the blade as the blade comes down towards the nearest knoll that is close to the tabaxi cage, and that is going to attack. Oh, did that?
And so danger.
You'll have to
reigns
use
throughout
your
the
attack
cave.
still.
That's absolutely fine. No worries. Then let us. Flawless, absolutely seamless.
It goes through the motions, showcasing that yes, it can do it. 23 does
Dang.
hit.
I've got a glaive.
Easily.
He's got a glaive. Everybody's got a glaive. Fabulous. Dealing to whichever knoll is closest to the box an additional 15 damage.
Excellent work. Excellent work. As you strike that, there's more glaives over here! And a frantic panic erupts through this, now terrified of the cave frogs that they have imagined in here that are trying to reclaim their cavernous territory.
We're very real.
Cave frogs aren't real. They can't hurt you. They are. Excellent, excellent. Anything else for your Echo Knight?
Nope, that is it. Biff will concede to the next knoll, I guess.
Beautiful, beautiful turn on that end. Now we move over to Frank the Knoll. I'm just gonna give kudos to Foundry for naming them for me.
Thanks, Frank.
Frank the Knoll. Yeah, Frank. Seeing this false leader stand in front of them. We bow down to no one. We regret nothing. They pull out their longbow, sensing the distance, and will shoot towards you. Does a 19 hit?
It does not.
Does not. It swishes right past you easily. Just a warning shot at best. No! It's angry in its decision to then move forward, but will not attack at this time. Then we have our next one in line, also angry, but sensing the cave frogs here will instead turn to you, Biff, next to it. No, Sarah! And will try to avenge its friend with a bite, attacking you. These are all rolling low. Does an 11 hit?
Does an 11 hit? Does an 11 hit? No! It does not hit.
As those pitches ring throughout the cavern, it absolutely destroys the focus of this knoll, and it snaps near your feet, but nowhere close to doing any damage whatsoever. And it turns back and growls, moving now to surround you and separate you from your opponent or your companions on this end. Our next one in place. Now this one is closest to you, Vythorn. Our perceptive knoll. Kevin. Oh, we've got a Frank and a Sarah. Why not a Kevin? This one will also aim to bite at you, sensing you close. This is the ghost! Does a 19 hit.
I will use a chronal shift to
Really
reverse
playing with time here.
time. Make him roll it again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You see those jaws of death headed towards you, sharp and slobbery fangs. As they begin to close, you pull them back in slow motion. And as we hit play, moving forward, this second hit will look like an 11 instead.
Doesn't hit.
And it snaps, just barely missing your arm, and it will turn its head towards you, now moving between you and your direction. Where do you think you're going? Excellent. Now we have at the bottom of ours our finicky knoll. Sounds like a Henrietta. Also now staring at our very brave shapeshifter who challenged the gnolls, will also go in for a bite. They have a style. Does a 10 hit?
It does not. This time, when they go to bite, I just turn enough that they don't even touch me, and I'm like,
You don't deserve the taste of my blood.
Come on! It's not fair! Seeing all the blood of their companions spilt, it begs now for your bite. Now, moving at the top, this one protecting our tabaxi, sensing that you all are moving towards this cage, especially Vythorn, will make a decisive move. What good will she be for you if she's dead? With an inkling of intelligence, it figures out what you are doing and will take a spear and stab it through the wooden slabs of this cage.
As a reaction,
Yes.
the Shadow Knight that has moved towards the cage is going to use the move Shadow Martyr, throw itself in front of the attack intended for its target, and burst effectively. I believe another creature you can see. Before the attack roll is made, you can use a reaction to teleport the echo to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the targeted creature. The attack roll that triggered the reaction is instead made against your echo. Does that work?
Yes. You see this and your echo recognizes this is a terrible thing. I must stop it, right? And moves in front of the cage. This 9 will not hit your Echo Knight, correct?
Aha! Yes, correct.
But the sudden move of this echo terrifies the gnolls, as gnolls are notoriously terrified of ghosts, as they will, and ghost frogs, and ghost frogs with glaives. I'm sorry, grungs. But it is very horrifying of the 3 combinations of the most things that they fear of above all, and it will miss, hitting instead that spear into the side of the wood, chipping a little bit of the corner of that cage now.
As a free action, it flips the knoll off, but in shadow form.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, wait, if it's a Shadow Martyr and stepping in, does it have to take the hit?
Once used, the feature can't be used again, but it's just the AC that it goes against. It doesn't burst, it doesn't disappear.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, thank you. I was like, I don't remember all the details of an Echo Knight. Okay, perfect.
Me neither.
Thank goodness we can read at least.
Reading, am I right?
Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. Now, Issei, surrounded by multiple gnolls on your end, what is it that you would like to do as they growl and hiss and nip at your feet?
how many can I catch with a fireball without catching my friends?
This is rather close on end. Really, there's only one that had moved further away that was hiding from Biff that could probably get away, that is not nearby any of your friends. The rest, one is by Biff, the others are quite close to Vythorn, and the other two are very face-centered with you.
How many gnolls are still standing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. None leaders, though. Save yourself. Well, former leader.
Yeah. No, this seems as good a time as any for violence. I'm pretty sure you guys will live through this.
It'll be fine.
Is there coming at me? I just say,
I offered you mercy. Now burn.
in fireball. It's DC 16.
All right. Are you going for the ones near yourself or Vythorn or Biff?
I will, starting with the ones closest to me, like moving as many as I can get, but like basically like, to center it where it won't hit me, but like all of them, basically.
I'll give you 4, and Vythorn will be in the mix of it as well.
Their dex saves are -2 because they're slowed. The 3 of them that are slowed, by the way.
3 of them are slowed, 1 of them is not. Excellent reminder.
Well, it's only 26 I'm going to put on them if they don't make the save. So.
Oh, only 26. It is a dex saving throw,
Dex
correct?
16. Dex 16.
Dex 16. All right. Let's see. Vythorn, go ahead and roll yours first.
Yes. I don't know why it's not letting me roll it, but it's a -1, so let me just do that. I'm going to use a lucky.
Okay.
As I see this fireball, I almost like get an intuition of the things that are about to come, and it's like I'm seeing them in slow motion as I adjust my trajectory and get a 5.
No.
It is worse. It is worse. In your fear and panic, you choose to redo time, but miscalculate your steps and trip a little, falling back into the pathway of the fireball. We'll roll our first Knoll who is not slowed in this space. But they will fail with a 7. Not good enough. These next 2 will be a -2 to their saving throw. First one coming in will be a 9, which is not enough as well. So far, 2 have failed. How many will be standing by the end of this? Another one rolls to see if they can hop out of the way. That will fail with a 14, initial with a 16, but it is not good enough thanks to the teamwork of Slow. Our last one in place. Will they make it? They will not! Also rolling a 16, that is now docked to a 14. All of them will take that 26.
You might say fate intervened.
Easy! Not cool!
Literally not cool.
Literally not cool!
You take out 2 of them. And 2 remain with just scraps of HP at this point.
Would say afterwards, I just say,
Run, fools, take the cubs and flee.
This one in the middle closest to you, hearing this message, shivering to the point, knowing that it has yet to be able to even touch you, recognizes this opportunity for survival. Tail between legs, will grab the pups and run, taking this one already terrified from Biff alone, and they will escape with the pups in tow. This leaves for us 2 remaining. 1 still by Vythorn, guarding the Tabaxi woman, still in the cage, and the other by Biff.
well, that was it for me.
Are you sure you didn't want to murder some more?
I mean, I'm willing to. It's really more up to them, to tell you the truth.
The player is willing, the character is limited. Got it. Got it. Vythorn now stands between you and the cage, just 1. What would you like to do?
Yeah. I think I will.
Excellent. Thinking is a good start.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna quicken.
Continue it.
I think I'm gonna quicken spell a chaos bolt at him. Let's see here. Roll that. Normal roll. It's a 15 to hit.
A 15 does hit.
All right. And that's gonna do 6 points of damage.
Please describe how you take it out.
Oh yeah. As I just raise a hand, I'm assuming this is the one that tried to bite at me, and so I slow time and watch its mouth kind of chomp down, and as it kind of shakes its head trying to figure out what happened, and this fireball goes off as I'm taking the fire damage. I'm creating an orb of chaos energy of this lightning, different multicolored, that swirls around as I just put it right in his mouth and blow the back of his head out as it just shoots right through the skull. As
and it splatters on the cage, and you hear a woman inside, terrified of this explosion you've now created.
And then because I quick and spelled that one, I'm going to attack the other one as well with just a mind sliver. So it's going to have to make a intelligence 15 save. Give me a second here. Gotta find it. There it is.
The last one is standing as far on the other side with Biff.
I know. I have the range.
Excellent.
So it's
As you go for it.
make that save of a 15.
All right. As you make this call of mind sliver from across the cave, it feels something in that small brain of its. Oh, it's so close to a nat 20. It is a 0. That's kind of hurting.
10 points of emotional damage then.
There's a lot of emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
It's just kind of racked for a moment, like unsure of what's going on, seeing itself as the only knoll now remaining. It hunkers down, holding spear in hand, backing it up to the fire itself, unsure of where to go next.
And I think that's my bonus action, so I can't open the cage yet.
You cannot. Biff, it is your turn. One faces you still.
Nah, okay. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. You've seen the hard way. I'd run. Get out of here. Go. Just go. Go.
Give me a persuasion on that.
Oh, shit.
With advantage, because you have already scared another at hand, and the pitch levels that you got with that were pretty impressive.
All
It's
right.
very well done.
Let's see what happens. All right. Okay, 21 on that.
With the 21, terrified, it begins to stumble backwards, hiding. No! And it runs, sprinting out of the cage, chasing after the 2 in the pups that it got before. You have cleared out this knoll camp at last, finding now peace and quiet within this space.
Oh,
Congratulations. Now remains a few scattered dead bodies of gnolls in a cage.
Well, need to get this open. I'm gonna try to. Can I fidget with the cage lock, or is it just tied?
It is tied, as gnolls are not particularly familiar with mechanical contraptions and utilizing them in their spaces.
I'll just pull out a dagger and try to cut the rope if it's a rope.
It is a rope.
Alright.
Yes.
Then I will attempt to cut the rope.
Go for it.
I assume I can.
Yeah. Well, some ropes are tough, and you're a soft-handed book boy. So I don't know.
Oh, no.
I'll make no assumptions.
This Vythorn kind of saws through the rope.
Those are good insults.
I know. Opens the cage. I don't have a lot of time. Let's go.
And she stares back at you, bright-eyed, and for a moment she'll look at you and then she'll look down, and you can tell her foot is mangled. I can't walk.
Yes, you can't walk. He's just going to kind of like look around.
Who are you? Have you seen my son?
Yes.
Have you seen Kuro?
we have. He's back at the carriage. He's safe.
You left
Don't
him at the
worry.
carriage?
Well, we have to come find you. Let's be fair. There was a lot more of them in here than there were out there. Although now I think about it, then we let some of them go. Yeah. Oh, look. let's get you back to the carriage. We'll sort everything out. It's all right. We've got you.
I turn into Caro and I say, more accurately, you left him at the carriage.
Oh!
Will you stop doing that? It's not helpful.
And I just, and I turn and I look at all the dead gnolls and I'm like, isn't it? But, and I walk over towards her and I go, Mother, may I? And I just like hold my hands towards her leg.
No, you're not Kuro. I just saw you change. Kuro doesn't have that magic. He's not capable of that yet.
I turn into her and I just say, and with her face, I'm like, I'm whoever circumstances require. Do you ever want to walk again or not?
Terrified, she finds the furthest corner, ripping a piece of wood from the cage itself out of pure fear, holding it against you. Please don't come any closer.
Easy. Drop it.
She doesn't seem very grateful, does she?
And I turn back to a knoll and just stand there.
What are you, mercenaries? What do you want from me?
We're on a quest from a lady that sort of doesn't have your head. I'm very confused. Regardless, Kuro's safe. We're here to help.
Where's Kuro then? Prove to me that he's safe.
I don't have time for this. I'm casting Hold Person on her.
Oh my god!
And she locks up. And speaking of not having time, do a perception check.
Oh
See if
boy.
you all are aware of how much time has passed.
Probably all of it.
He say doesn't look because he doesn't actually care.
No, I don't know.
Ah,
Biff, you look at it, but the way you hold it, since you have been the carrier of it, it's actually upside down, and you think, oh, we've got a lot of time left. Nothing has passed whatsoever.
like, all of the sand is still here. It's not going anywhere. Like, it's fine.
Vythorn, with your knowledge, and you see the direction in which the sands flow, you realize over 3/4 of that sand has fallen through. At most, maybe 30 minutes now remain, as you have spent so much of your time tracking through these woods, diving into these caves, and tackling these gnolls. This held woman now, under your care, looks at you, terrified, looking at you, your companions, and that hourglass.
Having held her and knowing I have no time, I literally just try to pick her up and run out of here.
Strength.
Yeah, that's not gonna go well for me. Oh boy. Okay.
Interesting choice of words. It feels like
I know.
with a 12, this is a grown woman,
I'm a grown man.
heavier than Biff, which doesn't say much, but it's just notably more, probably about two times the weight of Biff. Being about 5'5", almost 5'8" at this. That's of double the height of Biff, correct?
Yeah.
Ish.
Would you like a little help there? I may not look it, but I'm actually very strong.
Fine, you take care of this. I don't have any time. He's going to drop
you
her on
always
Biff.
have time. You always have time.
I literally don't have time. You're looking at the hourglass.
That isn't at all how this works.
Okay.
Are you
hang on.
stupid?
Yes.
I think we have established yes.
Well, no, you have a very athletic intelligence. It's kinesthetic, they call it. A valid way of existing. Don't let anyone tell you different, Biff. Also,
You're ridiculous.
Also, and I just look at the woman and I say,
Biff, you seem to be the moralist here. We all know consent is sexy. She didn't want my help, but she also doesn't realize she'll never walk again without it. Should I heal her?
No, technically. However, I am also aware we don't have a lot of time. It would be the right thing to do to heal her, as it would not hurt her. Yeah, do it! And then we can get out of here and get her to the sun.
I realize she's held, but as I extend my hand to put it on her foot, I say,
If you're still mad about it later, I'll be more than willing to chop it off.
and I cast Cure Light Wounds on her foot.
Why would you say it like that?
I instantly release my hold. Good, and let's move. And I cast haste on myself to double my speed.
Oh, what?
Do you leave the way that you came?
Yes.
As you begin to run out, doubling in time, you run into a familiar face. Did you find my mother?
Ah!
Yes, she's in the cave.
Mom! Mom! And Kuro, now screaming out her name, begins to run past. Where is she? Where is she?
I turn into his mom. Does she look like this?
And will run back, grabbing Vythorn's knee, kind of hiding behind you, making it impossible for you to run at this point.
I don't have time for this. Get off of me. I'm gonna unarmed strike this kid.
Oh my god,
I'm
no!
gonna-
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Biff like leaps in between.
Not very
and
good.
Sort of pulls Kuro off like, Kuro, come back! Vythorn! An unarmed child?
There are more important things at stake. You don't understand. I have to get back to the void.
I think it's clear you don't understand.
Oh, now it's getting interesting. Come on then, Vythorn. Lead the way.
Having Biff pull the child off, he's just gonna turn and just go.
Wait! Is my mom really down there, Biff?
Biff looks back to the other two like, I'll catch up. I'll take Kuro to his mum. Go! One of us has to be a little less selfish than the rest, I suppose.
Where is it that you have to go?
I look.
It doesn't.
I'm sorry. I look at Biff and I just say, "Oh, hang on. Let me see if this is actually gonna help."
Eldor hurts.
No. Oh no, this is gonna help. I look at Biff and I say,
Well, that's hurtful. I did everything I could to spare those nobles.
and I give Biff haste,
Move along fast.
and it'll double his speed. So Vythorn's way faster than me, and Biff's way faster than me. So I'm just gonna move as fast as I can, but to keep up with Vythorn wherever he's going.
Everyone just sort of banana splits and
Yeah, and I'm like,
eight different directions. Biff leads Kuro down back into the cave where his mum was, and sort of drops him off. Like,
That's it.
Thank you.
Good. Fabulous. You should have stayed in the carriage. Next time, listen. I don't have time. I've got to go.
The mother will try to reach out to you. Wait, where is it that you're going? I know these areas like no one else. I typically serve as a guide.
Oh, we were going in the opposite direction from the direction that you was dragged, from what I recall.
These woods are tricky and magical. There's a shortcut
Oh,
to a lot of places down here, but you have to be careful. What is it that you're looking for?
did we actually hear the giant's breath, or was that said before we arrived? I know you said it, but I don't know that we heard it. I don't know that we were sculpted out of the mud when that happened.
I will allow it that the two of you were aware and hearing what needed to be found.
the giant's breath.
Mm-hmm. It
Okay.
is. It is the ruins of Giant's Breath.
Ruins of Giant's breath. That was it.
it's the ruins of Giant's Breath.
The ruins of the Why do you? Never mind. It's hold on. And she'll hold out her hand, and you see it glow for a second, Biff, and it changes from yellow to red, and she'll move it back again, yellow to green. As one of the pathways then lights up. That is the pathway. It's not the front of it, but it will get you there if that's what you seek.
Hilariously, I don't, but the lad who was here before, he does. This is hilarious. He's gonna hate this. Fabulous. Right, okay, so I just follow that, and then it'll follow me. I'm not gonna have to come back for. Cool.
The green light will stick with you, I promise. You have at least 5 minutes before it disappears.
All right, okay. Well, I best run. Boy, can I run now?
And with that, Biff like waves like an awkward goodbye and shoots back off out of the cave.
Yes, and we hear just this barrage of as those flapping feet go scrambling out of the cave. Just the weirdest clapping sound as your feet hit the ground. In fact, it's so loud, echoing from this cave. It is a warning sign to your companions that you are catching up. They can hear you before you approach.
I hate it.
In a zooming fashion, you do quickly catch up to Issei.
Issei, I found a shortcut. Don't ask me how. Follow the green light. Let's go.
Just tell him you're faster than I am. I'll catch up.
Makes way more sense. Okay.
And off he continues, just slapping along, trying to find Vythorn.
Could you just not that? Oh,
In due time, as Vythorn is not an athletic build, but you as a knight are used to this. This haste wears on you a little bit better. And so you can, for a flavor of our story, catch up.
Vythorn! Vythorn!
I don't have time.
Yes, you do! Like I said, you always have time. Look!
And Biff like grabs him and points him in the direction of the green path that is illuminating before them.
What?
It's a shortcut to Giant's Breath. The Tabaxi lady, she works as a guide. She's given it to us.
Why didn't you just say that?
Why didn't you just ask? Or stop to help? Or consider anything other than yourself for more than a minute?
I didn't have to save her. I helped.
Yes.
We could have left her.
If you hadn't. Yes, and if you hadn't, then you wouldn't have been able to get to Giant's Breath in time. Don't you see? Everything's connected by kindness and morality and compassion. You ungrateful dolts!
Do you ever stop talking?
No! It's kind of who I am. Blind, I swear. Follow the path. Find the Giant's Breath. Know that you don't deserve it. Know that you didn't earn this. And that fate only smiled upon you because I was here.
And when I'm gone, you'll still be here. As Vythorn follows the light.
Haste now worn off on these two. As you have to backtrack some, Issei, you now reconvene with your group.
And I look at Biff's face and look at his face and look at Biff's face, and I'm like,
definitely interesting now. Lead on.
Go for it.
Sorry, I would just say, I just look at Biff and I just say,
Biff. Your idealism is not misplaced. But, perhaps if you or I had all the answers, we wouldn't have found ourselves in this predicament, huh?
No. I just thought I might save one more person from being in this predicament. That's how I got in here.
I just motion at him and I say,
Well, maybe we are saving one more person. Wait, did you say that's how you got here? Because I also showed some uncharacteristic mercy in my test.
Oh.
Oh. Well, fine, lead on. Go, 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 go.
Go. Okay, right. Okay, I hate this test. That's official.
Yes, fate is fickle indeed.
and we follow him.
The three of you move forward. This green light giving you just enough headway to where you find a very small pathway, single line at this point, through a grassy, small opening. One by one, until that light in its short lifespan begins to flicker before going out completely. But you have your heading, and the three of you move swiftly through these fields until you reach a stone entrance. And it is a tunnel deep within. How would you all like to proceed?
Vythorn is not wasting any more time. He's constant moving forward unless there's something that stops him.
What is the order then as the three of you continue your journey?
I'm happy. Biff is happy to head up the rear. He's got a glaive.
And then after Vythorn moves in, I just turn into a gnome, but like a Sverfnabelin, like a very pale, gaunt gnome, just so I can fit a little better. I'm right behind him. Yep.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice. The three of you make your way down in single line to this very narrow passageway, worn to the touch, but very small. Vythorn, you the tallest in this, you find even your head sometimes bumping the ceiling. You have to duck from time to time. Biff, the smallest, this is easy in this. It is dimly lit. It becomes dark as this pathway becomes long and treacherous.
Oh,
As you journey, you may talk.
I need to know something from both of you. What was it that got you stuck here?
Just look at him now with my little gnome face, and I say, well, I assume it was not quite so different as you. I thought I could take fate into my own hands, and I was going through here, and I did everything I thought I was supposed to do, and I had defeated my opponent, and he begged for mercy, and I thought mercy was the right move, and I gave it. And then found out that was not what I was supposed to do. I've come to suspect that perhaps I was supposed to act in accordance with my heart versus how I should behave. But I guess I'll never know. But I do intend to ask Phil when I see her again.
And you?
I came with a group, and we were all seeking the same prize. We were all to go home together as heroes. I sacrificed myself so that the others may achieve our prize. But I suppose that was not what Phil had intended for us. It wasn't mercy, it wasn't sacrifice, it wasn't kindness, it wasn't compassion. It was achieving the goal, I guess. We all failed.
Vythorn starts to kind of smile a little wryly. I think I understand the test now.
So did we both.
I will say, I just sort of think for a second and I say, well, but don't be afraid. Our fate cannot be taken from us. It is a gift.
You see, the reason you failed the test, though, is because you didn't take your fate, not into your own hands.
Well, I turn and look at the very running down timepiece and I say, well, the time for you to take yours into your own hands is drawing nigh, so we should probably move.
You're right.
We'll know what to do when the time is right. But remember, you always have time.
And that is literally not how this works, Biff.
Oh my god, it is. I've said we don't have a good concept of how time works.
Well, I think you're about to find out in the truest, and I must say, eternal sense. But yes, sorry, please, let's go.
Always, hold on one moment. Always, you keep saying that. What does it mean? Always have time.
You really wish to use your final moments plumbing the depths of Grung? philosophy?
Yes, maybe.
It's your test, friend.
He's
Your
gonna
test.
give me the egg timer.
Ah,
Still don't know what an egg timer is. That's an hourglass. I don't.
All right, an egg is a shelled construct that usually comes from the cloaca of a bird, or like a frog spawn sort of thing. But the timer is for many things to do with said egg.
Did you just say cloaca?
I did.
I'll never eat eggs again. Ugh.
I'm really proud of myself for remembering bird anatomy.
I mean, wait, do grungs have cloaca? You are amphibians.
Oh my god, do I have a cloaca?
I don't want to know. I do not check. Do not check. I very much like put my hands on Biff's hands. Like, no.
Biology lesson here.
Yeah.
Nature check or animal handling, depending on how you want to view yourself.
That's like depends on who's asking, right?
Medicine, maybe? I don't know.
We gotta have more drinks before it's animal handling.
Just as a jest check, I did a nature Google, and yeah, frogs have cloacas, so that's news to
Oh
me.
yeah,
Good,
reptiles
good.
and amphibians. No, I think 100% do. I just wasn't gonna.
I have no idea.
You know what, Biff, go ahead and give a +1 now to your intelligence. Way to go for learning a little bit more about yourself today.
I did it. I'm a
Yep.
better person
Most
now.
reptiles and amphibians that don't have exposed genitals have cloaca. That is all true. Yep. That's today's horrible science fact.
And I think that's the real lesson here.
Yeah,
That was the real test. That was the real
it's all
test.
over. You guys find yourself back at the beginning. Done.
True. Yeah. It's like the holodeck just turns off. White walls everywhere.
Biff is now moving through this cave, this where we're going through, staring at his own junk and screaming.
It echoes through this space quite loudly until you get near to the front and it quiets down. Vythorn, were you about to say something?
Yeah, Vythorn, as he takes the hourglass, it's just the words from Biff ringing in his ears and knowing this is somehow some sort of rigged test in his mind. I'm going to examine that hourglass for any clues, either obvious, written, or arcane, that would indicate it is of some importance to my test.
Go ahead and give me an arcane check.
Oh yeah, I'm totally lucking that.
Smart choice. Smart choice.
Oh god.
Okay. It's a little higher, but a 15 is enough that you notice while this pristine hourglass sits in Vife's hands, well, now yours, there has been work done to it. You can tell that it has been mended time and time again. That it is not flawless in its features, but magic that binds it.
I cast Dispel Magic on it.
In that moment, as you cast Dispel Magic, your hands running over its shape and curves, it shatters. in
Well,
as
I don't
many
know if
pieces.
that was positive. Sorry.
The sands now spilling through your fingers. Impossible to pick it all back up.
Well, at least the time is in my own hands now.
That's a joke. That's very funny. Because your hands are covered in sand. That's nice. Well done.
As you look forward, you now find yourself at the end of this tunnel, and it leads forward to an open chasm, a break, and a small, thin pathway leads forward to a brightly lit door, and all around it, surrounding it, are gigantic skulls, or should I say, giant skulls.
I hold a hand up for them to stop walking as we approach the edge of it here. And I say, I'm definitely in one of the hells. And I will activate my divine sense to know if there's any undead, celestial, fey, or fiends within 60 feet of here.
As you cast such a thing, you sense in this area, while there are many things that are dead, they are dormant. Deep in the ground, gigantic bones, now covered in dirt, except for the skulls now delicately placed surrounding the door. Other than that, no other presence feels active at all.
Well, this clearly looks to be a mechanism or trap of some sort, but I do detect no presence of undeath or celestial, fey, or fiends. Still think we're in hell. But, I could, try and figure out the workings of this device if you would like, but...
But?
Yes.
It's not my test.
Ah.
You said that you went against your own nature. Well, my nature is to know, to learn. So tell me.
I would like to activate my ranged legerdemain, which means I can manipulate objects from a distance. Try and disable a trap. Just and my mage hand is invisible, so it's like the thieves' tools just come off my belt and just go muck with one of these heads. One of the heads not pointed directly at us.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
As you go through, you peek around. Only bone dust remains. No traps. Nothing lingering. No eyes waiting for you. It is dead.
Well, good news, bad news. I detect no gears or cogs or traps of any kind, but doesn't mean they're not present. And if they are beyond my ability to detect, they are fearsome indeed. But this seems fairly treacherous.
Oh, was it the giant skulls that gave that away?
Well, that was an initial indication. Wait, why am I still talking like this? And I turn back to a drow.
Yes, fine. Obviously, this place is a death trap. The skulls are gonna blow us off. We're going to plummet to our doom, but there is no undeath here. There is no machine that I can detect, and this isn't my test, so it's up to you, Vythorn.
I'm not afraid of bones or death. In fact, kind of reminds me of home as Vythorn takes a step out towards the skulls.
You start your venture down this long, narrow pathway, and you notice it is like a cliff edge on either side. That ravine continues down further, and you see along the edge different bones poking out, but nothing moves.
If I look over the side, can I see anything else besides bones?
Dirt,
Dirt, yeah.
roots, more dirt, mud, rocks, maybe.
Good.
Yes.
All that sounds super interesting, but I guess I'll just keep walking forward.
What would the other two like to do?
I look over at Biff and I say,
I don't even know if we can die here, but I'm fairly agile. Perhaps let me go next. If something goes wrong, at least you'll be safe.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Wait, is this a trap? Feels like a trap.
Please don't make it weird.
and
Okay.
I roughly how far is this?
It is not terribly far, but it is more of like a 20 to 30 foot walk.
Yeah, I
don't
let
know
my
what it is in meters, sorry.
yes.
More,
Like,
less?
we use freedom units around here.
Sorry.
I do let
At
him
least
get
like
a good.
50 hot dogs. Sorry, continue.
I do let him get a good 10 feet or so in front, and then I start making my way across as well.
As you all begin to venture along piece by piece, spaced out, Vythorn, you get to the door first, and it is large and heavy, and in it, on the words itself, or on the door itself, are words inscribed.
Does it say "Speak, friend, and enter"?
It does not.
Oh
Oddly
man,
enough. Not
I
a
knew
very
that one.
welcoming place. No
knew
friendship
that
here.
one.
Never speak, Brendan Enna. Oh.
But there are words listed above, and deep below that, closer to the ground, a giant creature is carved into the door with a jaw deep and hanging open like a bowl.
Oh.
It's carved into the door, or it's protruding from the door?
Carved into it. It is a very thick, deep door, what you can judge, seeing how far and deep that bowl-like shape is inside of it. Not protruding.
Is it movable? If I try
is
to
not.
move the jaw.
It is quite fixed within it, as if it is made of stone itself.
If I look inside of it, is there any sort of symbols or writing or anything inside of the mouth?
Nothing inside of the mouth.
Is it possible to read the symbols that are on it?
The symbols on the door are in giant. Does anyone speak giant?
Oh my god,
Oh,
I
let me
do.
tell you.
I actually do.
You're telling me language actually matters
No
Biff
one's
came
lying.
ready. As you are at the ruins of Giant's Breath, it is fantastic that you have someone who speaks giant.
Unreal.
Clutch.
Unreal.
I'm like, follow up. Can Biff read?
Yeah, actually, that's a fair point.
Great question.
Yeah, but he can only read the big letters. You know, giant. Biff sort of tentatively gets closer and goes, "Oh, I think I know this." It's very weird for me to say. What do the letters sort of translate to?
It reads, I am thirsty.
Oh, it reads, I am thirsty.
I just like take my water skin off my belt and just hand it to Biff. I'm like,
Yes, you're an amphibian. I'm sure you're terribly parched here. Fine.
Oh, thanks, I am. Wait, no, I think it's for the bowl. I think it's for the... And Biff sort of like heaves the water skin up and tips some of the water into the bowl of the door.
Oh, I bet it doesn't want water.
And
Oh, what-
as you notice, that water goes in and magically it empties.
Oh,
Nothing else happens.
what do you think it's thirsty for?
Give me a perception check, any of you, as you look at this particular bowl.
Vythorn, how bad do you want this?
Nineteen.
19s.
Biff, how you doing over there?
just vibes.
Our reader.
Rolling so badly she can't find the perception.
That's
You're
not,
still in
that's
your
not
reading
terrible.
mode.
That's not
so-
terrible.
Mhm.
That's
No.
not bad.
You do
Ooh.
notice that the water that was there is now completely gone, as if evaporated. There is no moisture left within it. But those eyes on this creature with the jaw open, as if awakened, but nothing more. In this bowl, it is large and deep. You could expect maybe more than half a gallon in size.
Do you have any more water? Liquid, anything?
Vythorn, I don't think it's thirsty for water.
No.
Biff's very large, round, grung eyes fix upon Vythorn.
How badly do you want this?
How badly do you want this?
Vythorn pulls out a dagger. More than you know. And he's gonna try to stab Issei.
Roll
When
to
it-
attack.
Issei
Unless he-
doesn't move when it comes for him.
All right.
Just
He stabs him and then tries to like push him against the mouth so he bleeds into it.
doesn't resist at all. Just
Roll
like
for
very
damage.
much like maintains eye contact.
Oh, Vythorn.
Does anything happen as the blood fills up this mouth?
First, roll for damage.
Oh, roll for damage. Sorry.
You stab like a scholar.
Ah, he is a scholar. Oh, that's why you said that. Oh, okay.
Lucky for you, I know where all the organs are.
This test is about to become a lot more interesting.
But I do bleed in the bowl.
3 piercing damage.
As those initial drops of blood pour in, drop by drop by drop, those eyes begin to light up red. Just a very soft glow at this point. And you get the sense for every single drop more, the more it will light up. 3 drops in, soft glow.
Twist the dagger.
For every pint of blood that you spill, you will need to take a d12 of damage. This will likely take at least 5 pints.
So I would like to roll those because I'm willing to go with this to a point, but I'm not willing to die for this. So
Roll it one at a time then.
Right. Yeah. If I haven't been milked sufficiently past a certain point, then it's gonna do what it does.
I will let you roll your own damage for
Oh,
each
me?
of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you said up to 5?
D12
All right.
each time.
So to be clear, full disclosure, I have 59 hit points. I've not been harmed yet.
hmm
All right.
So
Minus the
all right.
initial 3 from Vythorn.
Minus the initial 3, yeah. So I guess we're at 56. So all right. So roll. I'll roll. I'll go ahead and roll 4 d12 because I mean I can't die from that. So I'll just go ahead and get 4. We're out here
Okay.
from the jump. So that's gonna be I rolled poorly. 28, so 31 total. Okay, I'm keeping track over here.
Excellent.
It leaves me at 28. But it's not enough because that's technically 4 pints now we've done.
Just a tad more. Those eyes are glowing brightly open, but that bowl, the blood still sits in.
I look down at it as it's filling up, and I look back at Vythorn, and I say,
The difference between you and me is I understand what I owe.
and I grab his hand and push the knife in further to do another 6 points of damage to myself, leaving me at 22.
You take all of that. At your 22, you are lightheaded, dizzy even. You have lost a significant amount of blood. You lean against the wall. It will be difficult for you to stand and walk on your own for quite some time. But that blood now begins to gurgle and then immediately drains. Those eyes flash red, and immediately this heavy, thick door drops to the ground, swiping through as if it were never there, opening into a dark hallway with just a few dim lights.
I use my remaining lay on hands, which isn't much. Actually, I'm not going to use all of it, but I'm going to heal myself for 6. So it's like my hand glow and the wound closes a bit, but still very much still bleeding.
Biff moves into the side of Issei and wraps sort of an arm around what waist he can grab and sort of props him up. Moves in to encourage to use him as like a support, a crutch.
And start walking into whatever opened up here.
As you walk in, immediately to your right, you notice an Aarakocra, old, dusted. And even though there's many graying to the feathers, you can tell once brightly colored reds, blues, green hues in play. Very, very fascinating. All of these death and gray and black and brown that you've seen outside. In here, he is this vibrant beacon, but leaning against the side, snoozing. Kind of loudly, actually.
Vythorn walks in and he's just gonna clap his hands. Wake up!
Oh, good. You're finally here. I've been waiting forever for you. And he kind of ruffles his feathers a little bit and wakes up in this space. Finally, you've opened the door. I thought it would take forever for you to even get here. And then when I saw that you were there, you took forever. All 3 of you just staring at the door. I thought I will not be here for very long because I am old and I thought I would die before you got in here. And he kind of adjusts his monocle a little bit with his wrist, and you notice 2 metallic claws on either ends of his arms. Good, though. I am Master Skrika. I'm glad that you're here. Finally. Come, follow me. And he will lead you down this hallway lit with small little lights here or there. Should you choose to follow him.
Vythorn will follow behind him. Are you the keeper of the tome?
Oh, I am the keeper of this whole place. In fact, I used to be a scribe here, but now I am the maintenance worker and the cook and the chef and the one who lives here. So kind of everything at this point. You know, every now and then Phil writes me or sends me gifts or tells me tales or, you know, gives me visitors. Overlooks the 3 of you and his shoulder. Come on in. What is it that you are looking for? A tome, you say? There are many things that we have here, many tomes and other items. And as you walk in further, it now lights up quite blue in nature, as many items and books and tomes exist within this space. It's quite more like a museum, what you wouldn't expect hidden underneath all of these buried skulls. Yes, it's about time somebody came to visit. Phil said, oh, they'll be looking for something, but of course she never tells me what they're looking for.
Don't play games with me. You know what I'm here for.
And with that monocled eye, he'll kind of eye you for a second. You know how many guests I get here? So many. I keep a number of items here. Plenty of things that you might look for. Plenty that are useful. Oh, a book, you say. We have Kira's voiceless spell casting, which is really helpful. Spiritual magic companions. Perhaps you are looking for a little friend that you might have, as you all look like a very happy bunch. Perhaps, and pointing to like this armor set, the Night of Night. It really doesn't add anything. You just sleep in it and it gets pitch black. So if you work at night and need to sleep during the day. It's really good to have. A lucky key. Maybe that
Enough.
is what you seek. Oh, And his head will bob down into his shoulders.
Might I pose a question?
Yes.
I kind of make a point of leaning off of Biff to like stand up straight, even though I'm clearly in pain.
Biff's behind him, ready to catch just in case.
My friend here lost some companions. 4 of them, I think you said. Did they make their way through here?
Oh.
Did they succeed in their quest?
4 companions. There have been many parties of 4, actually. So it's quite possible. What was it that they were looking for?
And just look at Biff.
I believe they were looking for a way to turn one of them into a god.
Yes.
One was small, only about my size, and then the other one was also small, also about my size. All of them were my size. Now that I think about it.
Were they all grung?
Oh yeah. That would set them apart as well, I suppose.
Were they clans, mates of yours, brothers, sisters, perhaps?
Yeah.
I turn into a grung that looks a lot like Biff.
Probably looks something like this.
Oh, that really. Oh, it hurts.
It hurts me a lot more, I assure you.
As the wound is still there.
Oh.
Seen anyone fitting this description?
Yes, actually. There was one particular party, but here's the thing about this. You get 1 item and 1 item only. That is the blood price paid. And if multiple items are taken, then everyone is taken.
Oh no.
If they cannot choose one, then they do not go.
Just put a hand on Biff's shoulder.
Sorry, friend.
It was a long shot.
Well, there's some value in closure.
And then you just turn and look at Vythorn when I say that.
Biff will crane
it
his
is
neck
only-
round as well.
It is only 1 item you seek, right?
Yes. I seek the tome, Warrior's Cataclysm.
Oh, his testaments. You know, there are many things that live here, and only one that calls them home. And those pages belong here. They do. They stay here. Do you know the grounds in which you walk? He'll eye you for a second.
I don't believe I've been here before.
No, the answer would be no. That would be much quicker. Come on, boy. These are the homes of Morir. You know, I mentioned I was a scribe. I was his. Can you imagine who wrote the testaments? Go ahead, guess.
Warrior.
No, it was me. He's frustrated.
You're not really keeping up with this. You're supposed to be learned. This is the
Yeah.
part where you show off.
You might want to listen.
You would think one scholar
This-
could recognize another. I can see that you do. Your hands have clearly touched ink and not much else after that, huh?
They're very soft, yes.
Yeah.
Also,
And I just look at Vythorn and I'm like, subtext. Oh, sorry, Biff, you were saying something.
I was just going to say he's got baby hands.
yes.
Just the size of hands.
Just, they're so soft and tiny. Oh.
Yes, it will.
If you two keep talking, you won't have hands at all.
Oh, well, one thing I do not fear is your blade, sir, but please continue.
That is not something to joke about. And you'll notice that Master Skrika will hold up his own limbs. And you can tell those claws are metallic and unnatural.
I'm sure there's a fascinating story here, but can we get to the the matter at hand?
Yes, it is a fascinating story. In fact, it's
Oh
the
my
testaments themselves in which I lost my hands. I'm so glad that you asked. And he'll pull up a seat in this space. You see, warrior. Take a seat. He'll look over at the three of you.
Oh.
And you'll actually notice 3 chairs will scoot up. And they're quite unusual and perhaps terrifying in nature as they move forward. They are mimics. And as they get close, they turn into chairs for you. Go on, take a seat. I've trained them, don't worry.
Better keep an eye on your cloaca, Biff. I sit down.
I was gonna say, I'm very, very cautious of sitting on anything with teeth. Okay. And Biff sort of hops up and onto one and sort of waits for the worst and... No, okay. Of course, it's clear.
Are
You can
these
sit down, you say.
Are these chairs?
Yours in particular is a juvenile one, so it's quite fitting for
Oh.
your size.
Perfect.
Are these chairs Vythorn size? Or is he
They're
sitting
all of different sizes.
Okay. Didn't know if he was a 9-foot person sitting in a tiny chair.
No, you will not get a juvenile.
Okay.
When I sit on it like it's nothing, but I take my hand off the wound and put it on the arm to just bleed all over the mimic. Just like
Perfect. Every now and then you'll see a tongue slip out and just kind of lick out.
I'm like, the first taste is free, friend.
And it hums underneath you, offering a very weird vibration that you perhaps were not expecting.
Do I have a cloaca?
You awaken something within you in this
Wait a
moment.
second.
So yes, Morier. This actually used to be his place, but it was much more humble before then. Yes. You see, he loved everything. Quite a humble man, well, when it started. But he also loved everything, including those wretched giants. And you know what they do often? You know, they do the war thing. You go to them and they go, oh, I hate hill giants. And they all fight the hill giants. Oh, I hate fire giants. And they all hate the fire giants, right? And they go through that, and it's killed him to see this cycle of bloodshed again and again and again. And he said, finally, not enough. And he tried to cease it, you know, doing the thing that he does, like, oh, stop. It turns out that was very ineffective. And he tried everything, reason, subterfuge. I mean, all of it, but he couldn't do anything, for they are great. Giants are terrifying. I'm not sure if you've met any. And he'll pause for a second, seeing if any of you have met giants before.
I lived with some long time ago.
Are they not great? Right? Super
They're
strong.
so great. Their
Yes.
writing is so easy to read. The letters are so big.
It's wonderful how they write. It makes it easy for old eyes, doesn't it?
Yes. I wouldn't know. I'm quite young. I'm like 4 months old. But there we go.
The only thing I know is when you cut the backs of their ankles, they fall like everything else.
They do. But when there are many of them, it is very difficult. And so he had it in his head that he had to stop them, for his heart broke for every single one that fell. And you see this ravine wasn't always here. No. It was created as many fell from the sky when they tried to take over the sky giants. No, they fell and they cracked the ground itself. And so he decided to steal a young prince, holding peace as hostage, if you will. But they bombarded this place enough that it destroyed its rumble and even killed the prince within it. But that's where Morier found true power. You see, magic finds its home in multiple things, and this is what I write in it, but much more eloquently in the book. Don't worry, I'll sign it for you too. But you see, he was upset they couldn't see his vision. His dream for peace, yes. So he drew upon this blood spilled, and in his frustration and his anger, unholy words of sorts formed upon his lips. And I can't quite remember what they are now. That's why I wrote them down. But if they would have war, he decided he would deliver it to them. And he gave them this devastating blow as he split us from the world itself, and 1,000,000 teeth of demons began to devour their flesh. It was only by luck that the chaos of it all separated us. that not all giants were taken, but that is why we are here in a separate place, that others cannot find us. And now we are in the ruins. Why would you want such a thing? And he'll look specifically at you, Vythorn.
Indeed.
Because I too have a vision. I have a terrible foe that must die, so that my home may live.
That is dangerous. There are no other options?
If I was strong enough to defeat him on my own, I wouldn't be here in the first place.
Master Skrika looks over at your companions, eyeing Biff for a second, and then turning over to you, Issei. Do you think he should have this? Man like them.
You see, Issei turns into something that you've never seen before. He is very small, not much bigger than Biff. He is ashen white with dark black circles around his eyes and long white hair that hangs on his shoulders. It's rare to see a changeling in their normal form because there's no real reason to show it. But he turns and looks at Vythorn and says,
What's the name of this foe that you seek to bring down?
His name is Ogdril. He is called the Shadow King.
Ah, Ogdril. That's why I know you. As you might imagine, I never forget a face.
and in front of you, he turns into a man that looks a lot like you, Vythorn. Could be your father.
I can't do his size justice. Limitations. I was there when the Shadow King took his life. He died defending a woman, begging for the life of their son. Fascinating. That boy must have been you then, huh?
Speak plainly, what do you mean?
I mean, I saw your parents die. I saw the Shadow King wring the life from them with his own hands. In another time, I was often in the employ of less than reputable parties. I myself had no hand in it, but it was gruesome to behold.
That's not... That can't be true. I killed my parents. It was my uncontrolled
you?
chaos.
And I turn into your mother.
Then how do I know this face?
I don't... this is... this... my whole life. I thought that I had killed them. You're telling me it was...
Well, your heart is
was-
already consumed with anger, my darling, but knowing the truth, does this make you want to defeat the Shadow King more, less? Do you have more questions for him?
That son of a bitch!
Ooh, commitment. Master Skrika, with respect,
Always.
Phil, a question before I offer my opinion. I know you are listening. You're never far.
And she does walk out from behind a column. You know me so well, don't you?
And I turn back to pale changeling me, still bleeding.
I think I've come to understand you better than most, yes. Before I finish playing my part, I would have a request from the lady.
Speak what you will, and let's hear it out.
Fate is fickle. It is neither kind nor unjust. I think there's a reason why Biff and I got to witness this sad spectacle, and I have learned something. I was wrong in my test. I understand my mistake. And so rather than return me to the dust, allow me to be of service. There are times when you must teach a more hands-on lesson to mortals. And I just began rotating through faces. Kuro, his mother, Vythorn's parents, the other Grung. Let me be your instrument. Make use of me, however your will requires. And my blade will be yours for all time.
And a smile creeps across her face. Arms cross in a moment, and she quickly strides over to you, standing over you as you sit in this chair. Do not presume that you know me, but you have made a compelling case of your usefulness still. Make it final and bind yourself to me. And she holds out, reaching for your arm where that initial wound was.
I rub my arm across the blood that is all over my torso, so it's just covered in it, and just hold it out to her.
And in that blood now begins to swirl, forming characters you have never seen before, as it wraps not just around your forearm, but it begins to circle up your arm, across your body. And without your own desire, you find yourself moving and morphing into an adorable little crow that now sits in that chair. You have the ability to speak. So, my pet.
Oh no.
If you want to serve me so well, then so it shall be. But do not think that you are my equal. You will change when I want you to change, and you will play the games I want you to play.
The wings come out and bows down. And I look at Biff and I say,
We had to be what we are, Biff. You must be what you are.
and I look at Vythorn and I say,
As I said, fate is neither kind nor cruel. Vythorn has made decisions that were alternatively seemingly selfless and ultimately selfish. Yes, grant him this tome, see it through to its conclusion, and let him end up where he seems intent to go. Gah!
Your blessing is noted. Biff! Candy as promised, and she'll unfurl her fingers, and you'll see brightly colored candies, taffies, luminescent ones that glitter and shine, looking like crystals, offering them to you. And what is your take?
Well, I appreciate the offer. I would like to return to the dirt. I would rather die on my terms as a free grown than live as a pet in any capacity and with no freedom of my own.
Why is freedom so important to you that you cling to it so? Were these not beautiful moments of breath that you took each and every step of this way?
They were. They were mine. They were on my terms. I could choose.
whether or not to breathe, whether to step in the water or off the path. Could have jumped off a cliff if I wanted to. Could have thrown myself in the way of Tabaxi mother getting hurt and never seeing her reunited with her son. I made those decisions because I wanted to, because I know who I am. That's a person that's willing to give up their life so that others may succeed, and I am happy with that and content. That was my fate, and I'll take that to my grave. So thank you for your kind offer, Phil, but I'll pass. unless you've got lemon drops. I'm an absolute fiend for lemon drops.
No lemon drops. Not an ounce of sour in this moment, is there?
I am what I am.
You are. Delightfully so. A beautiful being on your own, and I will miss the stories and mind you give. We will have less to bet on. Very well. Then I will give you the eternal sleep, and your story will be written, and it will be done. She turns to you, Vythorn. You who have been toyed with, tested in many ways. Where do you stand on moving forward? What choice will you make, and why? She kneels down, now at eye level with you. Tell me what you will do.
I am a demon, born of lies, shaped and molded by chaos. A plaything, it seems, of the Shadow King. But I will make my own decisions from this point forward. I will return home, and I will pull the Shadow King's strings until he unravels into nothing. And after that's settled and the score is even, I will take fate into my hands, and I will control the fates of those around me, and around them, and around them. And my will be done across the void, because I say so.
Because you said so. I should have turned you into a parrot. She looks over at Issei. No offense, looking at Master Shrika. Sure. Entertaining enough. Such confidence, ego, desire. I have to say I love it. It's enough for me to back you. I think you're a winning bet. Until you're not. You'll have your testament, your book, your tome. And I wish you luck. From the god of fate herself. But remember, do not disappoint, or I will take it all away. And you will be mine forever. And in that moment, your eyes, heavy, will close as you fade from this space and are moved back deep into the void.